societal standards not attractive, but they call themselves like hot all the time.
Isn't
And
that just
like
what a BBW is?
yeah, right.
I
At
don't
least it's
know. I
self-titled
don't
with
really know
that.
what. Yeah, I don't really know where they're getting at with that. I think that's just called a BBW.
But this girl,
Narcissism.
she had like a viral post, and under it, she's like, "I'm hot and funny. Please follow me." And like, we went to her account. She was not hot.
No.
Any
She was
woman who
not
says
funny.
she's funny is probably not funny. That's a good rule of thumb right there.
Be honest with you, man. If I see it on a Tinder profile, I don't care how
You
hot they
hear,
are.
you
I just
see
know
any,
that's gonna be.
you see anything on Tinder or any other like dating thing, Bumble. The moment you see I'm notorious for my sarcasm or being funny, you know they're not. You know they're probably just
It's such
psychotic.
a red flag
They're
that you
like,
have to roll your
isn't it
eyes and
funny that I
laugh.
slashed your tires? I have such a great sense of humor. I know you love me for my
I feel like
sarcasm.
there's no good bio for a girl on Tinder. Like, you're either hot or you're not. But like, if you say you're funny, then like automatically you're not funny. But if you're just like basic and you're like, oh, like I like dogs and pizza, then I think that's retarded too. So you can't win. It always sucks, no matter
Dude,
what.
I'm just glad it's not popular for men to say fur baby. Because you know how many men, I'm sure men do it on
I
Tinder,
think that's
but
just called being a furry. Men who do that are just furries. They're the ones dressing up in the
yeah.
costumes. They are the fur baby, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a whole nother society there. Fur baby.
I mean,
There's
like, and if you look
the
at Tinder, though, like, you don't even look at. I don't look at bios. Let's be honest with ourselves here. I take one good look at the first picture, and that is the moment I decide. And it takes a fraction of a second.
hate
That's what I'm
read.
saying. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever they put, it doesn't fucking matter. We're
Oh
not
yeah.
gonna look.
I
I feel
think
like for
if you
guys,
see
it
the like
isn't that important either. Less is more.
no, especially this
But
is a
girls
vain app.
probably actually look at some of them. I feel like they go through and they're actually choosy with their
Hmm.
matches. Guys, it's you just swipe as quick as you can and
I
get
think
out
it
of there.
depends on the type of girl and what they're looking for. Because there are girls on Tinder who are on there for the wrong reason, where they're like, "I'm looking for a a genuine relationship." You know, they're like, "I want."
Have
They're
you,
treating it like it's eHarmony or something like that.
if I do see an absolute freak looking person, I read the profile because it always checks the boxes that you think it will check.
What, like
So that I
stone?
do
Yeah,
I do
420 friendly, neo
a
liberal,
cab,
a
a
cab.
cab
That's
for
probably one of
sure,
the funniest
BLM
things
for
ever.
sure.
The most common Tinder added the
Capitalism
ability to put
sucks.
like tags on your profile. They call them interests. The number one interest tag on any white girl's Tinder is always like BLM or ACAB. They have those two on there. You can put those on there,
Yes.
and they're always on the white girls. It's
Oh
always
my gosh,
BLM.
pride,
Pride.
pride.
That's another one.
There like
LGBTQ plus. Yes.
there's like that whole
Those are
section of
all flags.
yeah.
You know,
Those
like
are
gay people used to have hanky code. The
red
hanky code,
flags.
it's like that, man. If they got BLM, they're looking for that. If they got LGBTQ, they're bi. They're all just flags.
Man, and then you'll get the random like photography in there. Or
At what
like
point does someone just put
Which
like?
that's something else too.
At what point? What kind of person does it take for someone to put in their bio like, "Oh, I'm a straight up Bolshevik"? Like, if we go in all these different angles, at what point does it take for some like what personality does it take for a girl to just put like, "Yeah, I applied for membership of the Chinese Communist Party." I feel like
I wouldn't be surprised if
we're getting
there's
there. We're
eventually going to
getting
be
pretty
some,
close to
yeah.
that level, though.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Another Tinder one is like the. Have you guys seen the ethically non-monogamous before?
Yes.
I just love,
It's so
the idea of.
bullshit.
I just love the idea of like putting ethical in front of something, and like trying to just whitewash the rest of it, like
Let's pull up Tinder
ethical
right now.
murder.
I'm gonna see. Opening the app. Let's see what comes up first. We got Brooke, White. Her thing on there is okay. So very basic. It's coffee, music, travel, shopping, and a foodie. That's pretty basic.
Boom.
That's a basic one.
Yeah,
Right
That's
there.
like things everybody on the planet likes.
Yeah,
That's the cookie.
that
Who doesn't
means,
like
that's the I
food
don't have a
and music?
personality.
That's the McDonald's of
That's
Tinder
the I don't have a
profiles right there.
personality and I'm just a normal person.
You just know what you're
I'm
getting.
just here. Here, I don't have any more likes, so we're gonna swipe. So here's a fat bitch named Elaine, like Elaine from Seinfeld. Took a break from all this, but now I'm back, so please be nice.
I love the I've deleted this 1,000 times.
I've deleted this 1,000 times, and let's see if the Apple thing. She's this big. She's big.
You can go ahead and delete it again.
She's a little top heavy. She's Kelsey. All right, so Kelsey is.
Are we body shaming here?
Yes, we are body shaming.
Yeah, but that's cool if it's one of those things like I can say it. You know, if you're a fat piece of shit, you can call other people. Actually, anybody should be able to call people fat pieces of shit if they are, because bullying works.
Bullying does work. Okay, so here's just a straight up, here's just a straight up trans girl named Ray with facial hair. gotta love that South Texas Tinder.
Yeah, man. The facial hair is a new one that's kind of popped up recently, but
Yeah.
the staple that's been around for a while is the armpit hair, and the need to not only the need to like have it, but to like pose in a way that nobody ever poses, so you can display the fact that you have armpit hair, which is what you'll see in so many Tinder profiles down here in Austin, where it's just like you never have your hand like that, where you're like the arms wide out open, but it's got to be like a status symbol or something. I still don't get it.
Let's see who else is on here. I know there's one. It doesn't take much for you to stumble onto one account where it's just like BLM, ACAB, everything like that.
Yeah, you'll get the septum piercing.
Also, this may be specific to people who are close to the border, but I definitely get a lot of girls on here who their entire bio is just like in straight up Spanish.
That's awesome.
It's just all.
It was like that in Florida. It was definitely like that in
those
Florida.
people.
You'd have girls that just Spanish on their profile. That's because they don't want to date outside the Spanish speaking community.
The community.
They're keeping you out.
Then why the hell did I match
yeah.
with
That's
this
a
girl
gate.
named whatever her fucking name was, Priscilla? I matched with this Spanish girl.
Maria.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs that card, man. She needs it.
She's rebelling.
She needs that. Yeah, she needs that green card, that marriage card.
She's gonna date outside La Raza to get that green card.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give being single a couple more years before I just set some sort of immigration fraud kind of marriage thing up.
Okay, so here's a good one. Here's a Gracie. I don't want to put her location because that's what she has in there. But her first thing on there is God first, dad bods are hot, let's go fishing sometime, and dance in the headlights, and a NASCAR race ? That's an interesting one. That's a little bit different.
I'm sorry, was she hot?
Objectively, she's not fat. I put her in the average range. I put her at like a 6.
Yeah, that sounds like a right swipe for me.
A right
The
side for you.
NASCAR at the end is really that kind of like
That got
hammers it home.
the registered Republican in you screaming.
Yeah. Sounds like she doesn't take no shit.
So, I have a couple things here that I want to mention about the Asian continent. So, I just wanted to point out that am I the only one that finds
Just gonna get racist.
Am I the only one that finds it somewhat ironic and pretty funny that the sea in between China, Korea, and Japan is called the Yellow Sea?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the Yellow River too, right?
I noticed that. Yeah, their sea is called the Yellow Sea, and quite frankly, I am shocked that there hasn't been at least one or two like neolibs on Twitter who have been like, we can't call it that anymore. We got to rename it. The maps were written by white colonialists, so we got to rename the map.
You know what? It's not too late. We can start that. Go hard for it next, sincere about like something must be done. This is.
But like, what do we put What do we put instead of the yellow sea? Slant eyes? I don't think we can put that.
No, yeah.
I don't know what angle can we approach this at.
We should at least spell it like in their local dialect, like
almond eyes sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll just give it like a very like traditional Chinese name. We'll just call it the Wang Sea.
Yeah. Wang Chong Sea.
Wang Chong Sea. Yeah, it's named after this great general. His name is Wang Chang.
Everybody
General
Wang
Sao.
Chong tonight.
General Sao.
General Sao Sea.
Egg roll sea.
Egg roll sea. The rice sea. So, staying with the Asian stuff too, I recently got back into Call of Duty Zombies. I don't know if you see me tweeting about it. I had a couple tweets about it. I've been reliving my childhood, so to speak. I dropped a good $30 on like some zombies DLC thing or whatever on like Labor Day. It was just like that's all I've been playing for a while. It's just Call of Duty Zombies. Getting back into that. It's fun. I mean, I definitely feel like a little kid again, and how like I just zone out in front of that fucking TV and forget the world exists. But one thing I didn't notice, because all the characters in that game and the zombies thing, they're all like goofy people inspired off certain like ethnicities that are in World War II. So you got like Dempsey, who's like the Marine. You got Nikolai the Russian. You got this guy named Richthofen, which is like a German. And then you got this guy named Takeo. And he is just... I never realized until how casually racist they made his character. Because he always talks about having honor. If he runs out of bullets, he says he has no honor. Everything is to do with honor. He drinks like a perk, like a soda machine. And he mentions something like, oh, it tastes like sushi.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. And then
he also uses his R's or his L's as R's. He'll say blood as in brud. It's just like
that wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, it wasn't. He's just like the most...
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 12 years ago.
Like the most casually racist character I've ever seen.
That's fantastic.
He's my favorite. I used to find him annoying as hell as a kid. Now he's my fucking favorite. Also, I want to point out how the Nazi character, who is like this mad German scientist from like World War II, his name is Edward Richthofen. Richtig means right in German, and his name is Richthofen.
Right, often.
And he's a Nazi scientist. So what are they trying to say here? Are they trying to say that the Nazis were right? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Why would they name him Richthofen if they weren't trying to make a statement?
Be like,
they've got a racist Japanese. They've got a racist Japanese man, or a racist character of a Japanese man. They've got a Russian who's obsessed with vodka. They've got an insane Marine who's pent up on killing people. And then you've got this Nazi who has the name Wright in his surname. That's what I want to know. I'm really getting into the what the developers' thoughts were when casting these characters. Because
you just gotta force feed this to some woke person.
Because when you're a kid, you don't notice that stuff. Like middle school me did not know that at all. I thought Richthofen was awesome when I was a kid. I love that German scientist. I thought he was hilarious. That's cool. Now I find him fucking annoying. He's horrible. He's just not fun.
The whole thing is like clearly like some kind of drug fueled like pipe dream. Like they were like, all right, first of all, we're gonna make a game where there's Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
Like that's where does that even come from?
That comes from
There was no fucking zombies in World War II, I don't think.
that
So
comes from like a
how the fuck
heroin
did they get-
binge, like a conspiracy dude on like a heroin binge talking about
It
how
is
like
kind of random.
well there are a lot of
Just-
like that everyone talks about
What
like
would be worse?
the Nazi science experiments and stuff like that. Like apparently
Oh,
Nazi
yeah.
Germany was like pent up on putting like a man on the moon before anyone else, stuff like that. They had all these experiments. So the theory goes that, you know, the zombies are a Nazi experiment that were designed to like help them fight the war type stuff. I've gotten really into the lore on this, if you couldn't tell.
That's not how this came to be. They explained all that after the fact. The way this came to be is they were like, what would be scarier than a zombie? The guy was like, what if
What
they were
if,
Nazis?
what if they were Nazis? You're like, oh my
evil.
fucking god, that's the worst
Nazi
thing
zombie.
ever. The world is not only being taken over by Nazis, but they're zombies.
Man, they used to do so much fucked up shit. I heard a story about how they would take twins and they would leave one as the control and use their experimental drugs or like surgery on the other one. And the second that the one that was being experimented on died, they would just straight up fucking off the other one and cut them both open to figure out what went wrong, like what liver or kidney failed or whatever. It is it's so like
Twins are weird
mind-
though. They deserve it. All twins deserve it.
All
They're
twins
weird.
deserve the Holocaust.
There's a
Write it down.
I just remembered. I'm trying to remember all like the voice lines that I've heard. I've really tried to internalize each like racist thing that a character has said in that game. One of the ones I just remembered is that the American character, he like there's some map where you're like shooting like these zombie monkeys or whatever. Or like cosmonauts, you know, like that the Soviets sent up into space or whatever.
Right, yeah.
The American guy shoots one of them, and then he says something like, "Are you related to Takeo?" Or like, "What are you, Takeo's cousin?" Referring to the Japanese character of the cast, in effect, saying that Takeo looks like a monkey.
But I didn't know that Japanese people were ever called monkeys.
Yes,
Is that something?
that was like a World War II like slang thing. Was calling the
Yeah,
Japanese
I've
yellow
seen the
monkeys.
propaganda where they're kind of like, where they're kind of hunched over like a circus monkey or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's just like, again, you don't notice that stuff when you're little, and then when you come back like 10 years later, and you're like, oh my fucking god, it's just like, they're racist as fuck.
Yeah, that's like the Looney Tunes effect, right?
Yeah,
Where, like, it's just like normal shit. And then you look back and look at their like depictions of a Japanese guy or something. It's like,
but I don't know.
holy
I don't
fuck.
know about you though, but I think that's made the game mode like 10 times more enjoyable for me. Because every now and then, one of them will say something that, like, they'll shoot a zombie or whatever the fuck. They all have their voice lines. So when you do a certain action, they're just randomly generated. Every now and then, one of them will throw something out that I haven't heard before, and it will just shock you. That someone at Activision Studios making a game was like, you know what we should make? We should have a line where the American character refers to the monkey as the Japanese character. That would be funny. And then someone eating that shit up and being like, I like it, we're putting it in the game. Call the voice actor up, we're having him record this tonight.
They were on some wild shit in that era, though. The very next game was where they had you do an airport shooting as the very
Fuck yeah.
first mission.
No Russian.
That's
The
true.
very first mission. Welcome to Modern Warfare 2. Shoot up
It
this
was the
airport.
remember
All these
no
bombs.
Russian thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I think it was on Twitter or something, but some guy did it, and like you don't have to kill anybody in that scene.
You
You
don't.
don't have to shoot
And
anybody.
you
The
just
other
do it
guys,
because
everyone
you
else
think you're
is
supposed
doing-
to.
You think you're supposed to? You think that's like part of the mission? Because Call of Duty games are very linear.
Social experiment.
You shoot the people. You shoot the people that are being shot at because that's what the game wants you to do. It never registers in your mind that you have a choice.
Yeah. It's like the whole "I was just following orders" in the Third Reich kind of thing.
Yes, I was just.
I didn't even really
And then,
think about it, to be
and then
honest with you.
you
That
know
was a
what's
psyop, man.
what's
That was a
even
psyop.
more
Listen,
funny?
they put that in. No, listen, they put that in so that they, that was around the time that we all started getting internet on our
Oh yeah,
Xboxes and shit too, right?
Mhm.
I know where this
Tracking.
is going. Hell yeah.
They wanted to make sure that they knew that when the orders are called, the American youth would just do what they're told. Just go out there and kill. They were preparing people.
Yeah, it's similar how like on Grand Theft Auto, once you kill like 500 people without doing anything else, they know you're a psychopath and they just start stalking you at that point.
You know what's funny about that mission as well, though, and I remember this because I don't remember what it was. Maybe I just played it not too long ago. If that says something about me, I've been getting back into all the Call of Duty games, playing all their campaigns and shit. But at the very end of the mission, whether or not you shoot the people or not, doesn't matter if you do or don't. You're like getting into an ambulance or something like that, and the guy who's the terrorist leader's groupie guy or whatever, he like mentioned something. He's like, he shoots you, and he mentioned something about like how he knew that you weren't like you were a traitor all along. Like, oh, he knew that you were just acting. So what's funny about that is that you just murdered hundreds of people only for the guy to go, oh, by the way, I knew you were faking it.
You're fucked. Yeah. That's awesome.
And he just shoots you in the stomach and they leave you for dead. And it would make sense if you didn't shoot them, because then he'd be like, oh, I knew you were fake or whatever. You're not a part of the group. That makes sense. You didn't shoot anyone. You stick out like a sore thumb. But if you're just mowing people down, you still get shot at the end.
Yeah, you didn't kill him fast enough, apparently.
Yeah. Dude, that is one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, that game was wild.
Those Call of Duty games have probably aged the worst out of any game I've ever seen. Now that I think about it. Yeah, because they try and bring them back.
Graphics?
Like any of the Call of Duty games. Like, so this zombies thing I played off, it's like a DLC that they made for the third Black Ops. So it's a couple games ago they did this for it. And they remastered the maps. They did everything. They're like, guys, you get to relive your childhood by playing these maps and stuff over again after 10 years or something like that. You know, so like a long ass time. They don't change anything. They just make the textures look much nicer, and then they put them in this newer game, and then it just shows you how poorly these games have aged, because they obviously didn't change anything. They just put it in a new game, and so now you have to compare. Now you have these old maps and these old game modes with these newer ones, and you can see how different they are in style.
Halo's got a similar thing where it has all of the Halos together, and if you go back and try and do one or two, it is it's very strange. It's like, but I guess back then it was the standard, so you didn't know.
The other thing as well, and I mean, this also comes with like a change in staff. You know, like Activision and all the Call of Duty things, they're now boasting about how diverse their team is or whatever. So now they're really, they're getting in on that. The Call of Duty Cold War game, I bought that because it was like $30 also on Labor Day, and so that was like my thing. As I just was gonna play Call of Duty again for the first time in 5 years. Bought that. The first thing you have is you have to create your character. You don't get to create what they look like, but you get to create their profile, so to speak. You're looking like a file, like it's in a CIA folder. You get to put your name, you get to put your gender, and the genders are male, female, and non-binary. And then shout
out to all the non-binaries out there.
Shout out to our non-binary friends. We're not slandering you. What I'm saying is that it's funny how
we support it. We think it's awesome.
We definitely support it. We definitely support it.
I don't think it's fucking weird at all. At all.
It is funny though, the idea of like someone claiming to be like openly non-binary, and then they throw you into a Vietnam scene. That's what I find funny about it. It's like you create your profile, you choose non-binary. I went wild with it. I named my character like, probably like Kim Jong-il or something like that. I went with like the whole North Korean thing. So I was like, all right, I'm doing that. You get to choose what you used to be. I chose XKGB. And then it gets the gender, and I'm like non-binary. The first mission after that is they throw you into Vietnam. And then after that, you're meeting Reagan. Could you imagine a non-binary character sitting in an office with Reagan and him taking their opinion seriously? Reagan would be so uncomfortable, I feel like.
He would just have him like taken out. About it. Yeah, he would have him taken out back and shot.
Yeah,
or, like,
he just would not
have him like try to like have Nancy try and convert him or something.
Yeah, they would have them like undergo some like electroshock therapy before they go in. They've got like the burns on the side of their temples before they walk into the Oval Office.
That would be like so far past, like if you try to explain non-binary to Ronald Reagan and not give him a heart attack or whatever, it would be so like an anathema to them that they would just keep calling him. They would just keep calling you gay, like whatever it was. They would just be like, "Oh no, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna listen to the rest of this. You're gay."
No, it wouldn't even be that. It'd be like, I think Ronald Reagan is the guy who'd be like, he's the confused grandpa. So what would happen would be that you would describe to him what non-binary is, and he'd be like, "So you're gay?" And he's like, "No, it's not gay. It's blah blah blah." And he's like, "That sounds like gay to me. So you're gay?" And he's not meaning like you're gay as in like an insult. He's meaning like in a question, like confused, like doesn't that just mean you're gay? He's like, that's how I've always interpreted. He wouldn't be able to comprehend the idea of non-binary.
Oh my gosh,
he would get hung up on the parts, like
oh yeah,
like, so do they have a penis or a vagina? And you'd be like, well, they could have either. It's like, well, so what does that make them if they have a vagina? Then they're a girl. That's non-binary. Like he wouldn't understand.
He wouldn't understand that. I'd be like, so what you're telling me is that there could be a person who claims they're non-binary and they can have a dick and some titties? And he would be like, that just. And he'd be like, that's when he would throw out like one of the words that we would probably say are offensive today. Like he'd say, that just sounds like a hermaphrodite to me. And they'd be like, whoa, sir, you can't say that. You can't say that, sir.
I'll just say this: the non-binaries in this new LGBT movement are so lucky that it didn't happen at the same time as those damn hippies were doing it back in the '60s, because they would have just killed everybody. They literally would have just salted the earth with that ideology. And it's like, wait, so they're commies and they're gay and they're cutting off their dicks? This is some sort of mental thing. We got to get this under control.
That's when you literally would have seen like military police going door to door, going, and then knocking to be like, "Hey, police, are you gay or straight? Show me the crucifix. Show me the crucifix in your house, so I know you're having straight sex."
Yeah, we've already missed the Handmaid's Tale thing. That train left the station back in like the 70s or 80s. Because now everyone's cool with it. But yeah, back then people would have had a legitimate problem with all of that shit. They would have just said you were a demon. Like, I think that's what the route they would go. They would just say like, "Oh, you're just possessed by Satan."
I mean, they had to get the National Guard to let fucking
kids
black
go to
kids
school.
The 80s were also what was it? The 80s were also the big Satanism craze. Remember, everyone was always everyone's worried about Satanism. Like they had the whole thing about D&D. Yeah, and D&D being like summoning witchcraft shit. So you tell a dad or a mom for that matter in the 80s that you're non-binary, you're playing a game that is associated with witchcraft and devil worshipping, and by the way, you're gonna go outside and smoke some weed with your friends. And have some, get a dick put in your ass.
We were really talking like more hippie times. So that's like,
yeah. But I'm saying in the 80s though, in the 80s it's just as bad.
They would just say that you have AIDS and that's rotted your brain.
I'm aware.
The AIDS is rotted.
Right before
the AIDS will always be an analogy for what came after that crazy time. So even if we had this in the 70s. Like with the non-binary and everything in the 70s, you would still have AIDS in the 80s, and you would still have people be like, "See, this is what happens."
Jeez, that must have gone over so well to like the conservative parts of the country. It was like, wait, so there's a disease that
only gay people
who gets
it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, well, I'm good then.
God's will.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we
no.
have to do what we have. Someone's like, yeah, we have to fight this disease. It's bad. And they're like, what do you mean we got to fight it?
Dude, there
I
was
think it's
probably
good.
so much. This is God's vengeance. What the fuck are you talking about? We need to let this happen. Yeah, that's God, that's insane.
Did you
That,
did you see that Joe Biden's opening talks with Syria in terms of like working together on like some key things? I haven't done a lot of research on it, so I don't really know exactly what they're talking about, but I just heard that our man Biden's talking with Assad now. He's like the first president to work with the Assad regime and not immediately condemn it, which means that man's going to get elected in 2024.
Yeah.
That's the
I think
Assad.
the curse works the other way.
Yeah, the curse is that anyone who says Assad must go immediately or within a year has like a scandal or something, like their career goes down the toilet, or they just straight up don't get reelected. You know, like it just goes poorly for them after they say that. That's the curse.
or they get like covered in chlorine.
By endorsing Assad, with working with him, he is effectively solidified that he will be reelected in 2024. 100%.
I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the speaking of gay and trans and everything. Let's talk about the dude who fucked his own ass with the dildo.
Yes, finally. God damn, get off the fucking politics. That was the gayest 30 minutes of this show.
I thought it was a good. It wasn't even 30 minutes, you fucking retard.
It sucked. No,
I thought it was an alright
The dildo guy's good. Let's watch that.
The dildo guy's good.
Pull it up.
Yeah, we're hearing about some dude that has a dildo on, or he fucks his ass with a dildo or something like that.
Yeah, little backstory. So he, I guess he said he was gonna do it when he hit 1K, but nobody fucking saw him say that or something, so he didn't have like a bunch of likes on it. Just kind of said like, when I get 1K, I'm gonna buy a dildo and I'm gonna fuck myself in the ass with it. He fucking did it. Should we say his name? Do you think he would want people to
this
say
is a Twitter podcast. Yeah, his name is Mario's gay cousin. His Twitter tag is at AIDS Free Mario. Yes, look him up. We're gonna
put him on fucking spot.
I don't care. Who fucking listens to this show anyways?
The sound is funny. Play it with the sound.
So here, hold on. Here, let me share my screen. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't mess with the recording.
Oh,
there. Go live. All right, let's see if we can get this up real quick. Damn, dude, this guy's gross looking too. I'll just put him on blast further. Jesus fucking Christ.
Remember we were talking about it with one of our friends, and he's like, "Oh, I want to check it out." Like, no, Turbo was like, "No, that's not what you want to see."
Do you think he went in without lube?
God damn, I don't want to know.
I don't know. Look at his face when he's like, once it gets in, he's like, "Oh shit!" It's like something woke up inside of him.
Oh, he pulled it out too pretty early. He didn't get that far. Look at where his hand was holding it. He barely even put it in there.
Isn't he gay?
He covered.
Well, he's
I don't know if
free,
he's
at
gay
least.
or if.
I feel like
I think that would make it better if he was gay. You know what I mean? Because then at least he's not like a straight guy. Just.
Oh my god, that would be so much worse. So, yeah, what he got 1,000 followers. He fucked his ass with a dildo, videotaped it, and immediately lost followers. Is that right? Goddamn.
For like 970, like within a couple hours.
That's so perfect. I just love the self-immolation.
Well, he's so fucking. I'm gonna be honest here. This guy's fucking annoying. The way he opens that video is like, "Hey guys, thanks for 1,000 followers. I'm now gonna fuck my ass." That pisses me off. That immediately is like, okay, someone actually should fuck your ass in an alleyway. Okay, that's a little too harsh, but getting there, that might
assaulted for this video.
He should not be sexually assaulted. Let me clarify on that. That might get edited out real quick, but But he's just.
He's not raped by Monday. I'm gonna shoot him with a gun.
We do not endorse sexual assault on this podcast. We do not agree with it.
However,
we think it's very wrong.
However, gonna kill the
in
president.
this case, we wouldn't feel bad.
If someone
we would just say that
death,
posting a video about this implies that they are okay with the idea of it happening to them in a very different context.
The whole why are you wearing a skirt downtown logic or whatever.
Yes. Any man who puts
it.
a public video online with his face in it, fucking his own ass with a dildo, says a very clear message about himself.
That he could get raped and I wouldn't lose any sleep.
No, he will not get raped. He will have very, very consensual gay sex. It's going to be very consensual. Both men are going to ask, are you comfortable? And that's all we wish, is that he has consensual sex with a man.
And good.
And good. I hope he has an orgasm. I hope he gets off to it. He deserves to be happy.
That good shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't finish.
You know what sucks the most is he had so many opportunities to not go through with this. I mean, he went out and bought a dildo. Either he ordered it online or went to the store.
I mean, like
he
you said before,
he that nobody remembered.
Yeah, no one liked that shit, so no one remembered it.
If you can scroll down and see how many people liked it.
How long ago was it?
Or Steve winning and how long before the video, I'm assuming.
He's got the dildo.
Ooh.
Wait, where is this? So,
is it clean?
I've got a dildo, but now I'm too scared to use it. How big is it, babe? This big. It's not. I don't know. Is that? I don't know. I feel like he could have gone bigger. I feel like he could have gone bigger.
He should have gone.
I think he could have
gone. He should have gotten the Tyrone 3, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking...
What's that? What's the name of that big old? It's like famous because it's got a name. It's kind of like a bit at this point, but it's just like the biggest fucking dildo you've ever seen. Like it stands up, it'll stand itself up, and it's just like a big. It's like this thick. You know, it's super fucking big.
Look at the Moby.
The Moby Dick. I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
The midget.
The Moby.
You can get it on Amazon too. It's 36 inches.
Hell yeah.
That's 3 feet, brother.
Why the hell would anyone get the Moby? That's what I want to know. Who's gonna fit that? What use does that have?
Midgets that are shorter than that.
Dude, there's a girl next to it, and she's like, "Oh my god, let me show you this."
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
This thing is fucking massive. It's got to be just like a gag gift. There's just no fucking way that you're.
Wow!
I gotta kill somebody.
Let me see it. Hold on. Your thing's
it's
lagging.
It's in the pod sharing.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought you were showing it on your screen.
It's like a lawn ornament or something.
Yeah, like it's so. It's something that, like, you would put outside in your backyard, like a long gnome or something. It's just like it's a statue at that point. It's longer than that girl's fucking. It's longer than that girl's fucking torso.
If you could fit any part of that in any part of your body, you need to go to the fucking hospital.
I do find it funny that, like, Amazon not only has the picture of what this dildo looks like, but they had to put in reference a naked woman next to it on Amazon.
No, I got that off a different site. The one on Amazon. I
thought that was on Amazon. I was about to say, I was like, Amazon's really starting to explore new horizons in terms of their marketplace.
$624. And it says like realistic detailing in like texture. This is like it's a real dildo.
Can you imagine being the fucking Chinese guy that's gotta put that thing together or pour it into a mold?
Fuck, dude.
Why does he gotta be Chinese? You gotta assume that this man's Chinese?
Okay,
I got some bad
okay,
news
or
How do you know that
Vietnamese.
he's not a Japanese man named Takeo who just happens to say very mildly racist stuff while shooting zombies? He may have a career. Jesus Christ.
That's on Amazon. That's a horse. That's a horse dildo, and it's
Buddy.
$35.
That's got to be breaking a law or
We
something.
should hold on.
dude.
Let me. I'm gonna copy this image.
That's truly
Here, I'll share
an
my
animal
screen.
dildo.
I'll share my
like
screen.
a
for
Jag.
this
Oh
real
God,
quick.
there's even more realistic ones.
I've got something for you. We'll do this on the podcast live. Where's this guy? Since I follow him, Mario's gay cousin. Let's get back to the dildo dude. Can I DM this dude?
Oh God, I think
You gonna send it
I
to
can
him?
DM. I'm gonna say
Send it to him. Send it to him and say like 1,500.
disappointed.
Do this one.
Didn't use
you gotta
this
go for
instead.
1,500.
Disappointed you didn't use this instead. There you go.
Oh my God,
Watch him just block.
that's
me.
incredible.
Just
Dude, that's,
antagonizing the guy now.
Wasn't it okay? Well, wasn't it the Vosh kid? The guy that's on the socialist dude on Twitter or whatever. Didn't he have a bunch of tweets talking about horse dick or something like that?
Something.
Pretty sure
He
they
said
like
a lot of weird shit. He's
Yeah,
talked
dude.
about like the age of consent a lot and shit. He's weird.
That is
Weird
a little
guy.
weird. Yeah.
You can just like get away with being able to say creepy shit like that constantly.
Well,
So
not only
funny.
that, like, so he's on what, Twitch?
Yeah, I think
Isn't he
so.
like a Twitch
Yeah,
streamer? I
think
thought
that's
those were
probably
what it is.
Yeah.
People say and
Yeah.
do stuff on Twitch that will get them like automatically suspended. Like you'll see someone and maybe someone will send them a link or something and they're doing some sort of like community whatever. Someone will send them a link. They open that link and all it is just like gay porn. Immediately they go fuck, they close it, and within 5 seconds their video gets taken down and their account immediately suspended. Like
That
so,
rules.
so Twitch will auto suspend people based on what shows up on their feed. Like they've enabled it now to where they will take your ass down in less than a minute. So it is funny to me that this guy has not been taken down like that.
Yeah.
He's
I
out here
guess he
talking
just-
about
he
like
probably-
the age of consent, and they're like, "Oh, that's good enough for us."
It's not an
Acceptable,
image, you know. It's just
It's not an
talking
image.
about
He's just
that.
talking about it. He's
To be
just
honest,
talking
man, the
about
creeps
topics
over
that are
at
dead.
Twitch, yeah, like the creeps over at Twitch have to worry about like sex trafficking and stuff. So maybe that is the least of their worries.
Keep responding.
Some fucking weirdo talking about children.
I'm gonna be watching my DMs all night, seeing if I can't get a response out of this dude now.
Golly, man.
Did you ever hear
I
about
just
like
love-
on the dark web, like the bad version of Twitch?
The dude,
It's
our
not
our
Twitch.
podcast Twitter follows him, dude.
Follows who?
Mario's gay
the
cousin.
gay Mario?
Yeah,
Well, he's contributing, so yeah, of course.
that's true.
Well, that's a
We get
different
all
guy.
that.
I don't run that page, so I don't.
Yeah, you don't. That's
It's a
our
different
intern. We have to have a very frank conversation with our intern.
Real stern talking to, with a lot of overtones of threatening rape and whatever.
Our,
Genital mutilation
mhm.
works.
Cutting off their hair, just
Quite a lot of people.
really whatever it takes to discipline.
In
Yeah.
suits.
That's all this guy.
Mario's gay cousin. I like that though. Mario's gay cousin. That's funny.
I did make.
Yeah, but he lost his points.
I made a bit. I
Oh.
was kind of like making fun of his like, what was it? His tournaments that he would do on there. And the first thing I said was like, I quote tweeted. I was like, I don't know why we're entrusting anyone who is a homosexual's cousin or an Italian man's gay cousin to run
Yeah.
a bracket tournament over who's the best poster. That seems a little biased to me. I was trying to put him on
It
blast
strikes-
for that. It's like I don't know who elected
strikes
this
one, two,
guy
three.
to be in charge of that.
Oh,
I see that kind of paid off too, because now he's fucking his ass on Twitter, And we hope, once again, just to reiterate, because I feel like we have to reiterate this now, we hope that that man has plenty of very consensual sex and has a lot of enjoyment from it. Every experience should be a good one.
Yeah, hopefully nothing's forced. Hopefully he's never sedated and taken advantage.
That previous statement I made
I don't want him raped to death.
I made that under the context that it was consensual. Because, you know, some people enjoy that. Some people enjoy those venues. And I hope that's the case.
We just mean rape fantasy. We don't mean, you know, we just the good kind.
We don't want him raped to death.
Some people get off to the idea of being tied up and, you know, just pretending that they're being taken against their will. With a safe word. Yeah,
you have a safe word.
That safe word is horse cock.
Yeah, the safe word is no, don't shoot.
No, don't shoot.
And I have terrible hearing.
All right.
That's enough about Mario's gay cousin.
Anyway,
yeah,
thanks for tuning in to Dudes Rock. This is At Silence.
Oh, how long has it been?
We're at about 52 minutes.
Oh, that's about normal.
We got the
with a couple edits that I'll make, we'll still be around in the 50-minute range, so I don't really care.
Well, we have the very, very, very special 9/11 special coming up this weekend. And I, for one, am fucking ecstatic. We're gonna have a blast.
I'm excited for it too.
9/11 on that clock. You make a wish.
Today was all about the Asians. Saturday is all about the Jews. If you catch my drift.
The Saudis, or
yes, the quotation hands, the Saudis, as we'll call them.
All those Saudis that were working at
those Saudis that were really that 20 years ago did us so hard that we
all
had
those
to
Saudis
go
that didn't show up to work at the World Trade Center.
All those Saudis that shorted the stock market the night before.
All those Saudis that are the ones that are running the media right now.
Yeah, all the Saudis that influence our government and media and medicine and entertainment.
Yes.
All those Saudis here in Brooklyn that fucking shoulder check me and won't make eye contact with me in the store.
Yeah, I hate all the Saudis that hoard all the wealth.
Yes, we're going to be talking about those Saudis on Saturday.
Those damn Saudis with their frickin' keepas.
Yeah.
Well-known Saudi hat, the kippah.
I thought the well-known Saudi hat was the yarmulke.
It's the same thing. The Saudis actually have two words for that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, they're a complicated people, the Saudis.
That's good. I'm glad.
Some would say
I'm glad that they have a deep and enriching culture like that. It's good that they have that. I care a lot about them having a good culture. It's important that we preserve that culture.
Despite the hard times that they've had.
That's why I always celebrate Kwanzaa.
If a child throws a rock at a Saudi, you shoot him. Okay? It's just the law I live by.
Listen, we didn't go to war with the fascists just to let those 6 million Saudis die in vain. We've got to protect the Saudis.
Even though it was maybe more like, 2 or 3 million.
There really wasn't enough proof to convince me that there was 6 million Saudis. But
we still care a lot about those Saudis.
Especially when you see how many Saudis there are in big cities these days, it doesn't seem like they got rid of them.
Yeah, okay. Well, they sure as hell got to keep their money.
That's true.
Those Saudis.
Yeah, I thought they got it all taken away. How did they get rich again so fast, the Saudis?
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. Those Saudis know how to cook a bagel.
They do. My favorite Saudi dish is a latke. Latkes are really good, or however you say them.
They slap.
They are good.
Yeah.
Saudis make some pretty good latkes. That kosher meat that they got, the only way I will ever eat meat. Saudis got it down.
Halal, you mean?
Goddamn
Halal.
Saudis. Yeah. Be halal. Halal Akbar.
Hey, that's offensive to the Saudis. We don't say that. And you're also confusing cultures. That's what we call the Jews. They say Halal Akbar.
Yeah. The Jews just ran America square out of Afghanistan.
Yep. Everyone knows that. The Jewish population in the Middle East did it.
The brave Semitic warriors of the Taliban.
The caliphate.
That's why I support the Taliban.
The imperialist giant of the United States.
Hey, if you ask me, those Muslims in what do you call it? Israel, they have a right to kick those Jews out of there. Sterilize those Jews. We don't need yeah, Jews. What's Palestine? They don't Jewish Palestine doesn't exist.
If somebody took what you just said out of context, there's no more joke there. You just Palestinian because they're all both.
Everyone heard of a Jewish jihad?
A Jewish jihad. That's what we support.
Wait, I'm so like we flipped it so many times. I'm like lost now. It's like wait,
I've lost track.
What's Muslim?
I've lost track of what's what.